So, it's 3 a.m. I've slept all day after dialysis, and I'm kind of in a manic cycle. I'm kind of fighting it off, and I decided I'd put up a video. I don't do videos very often. It's gonna be long, so if you don't want to watch it, that's fine. I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not a creator. I watched a video by a guy on YouTube called Skallagrim, and he's a great guy. And if you want to go to YouTube and subscribe to him, I'd highly suggest it. He's a great dude. He does HEMA, and he also is very well versed in the use of European weapons. Medieval stuff, swords, axes, etc. And he gets this question a lot. What is the best sword? And he hates the question because there is no best sword. It's what do you want to do with it? Do you want to fight a guy in heavy armor? Then you'd use this. Are you in a unit? Then you would use this. He would, in most situations, he would go for the European longsword because of its versatility. And, but in other situations, he might not use that. So that got me thinking. What would I use in a combat situation, varying combat situations? What would I use to defend myself and to make myself combat effective? Now, let's just pretend that I'm not on dialysis and full of diabetes and half fucking blind and just generally full of genetic suck. So we'll slim me down to like 250 pounds at like the height of my fighting effectiveness. So, and still 6 feet tall. And first of all, I do not want to fight you at all. I like being a big cuddly teddy bear. That's like the best part of me, is being a big cuddly teddy bear. And I like being that. Now, let's say, but let's just say the situation happens. There's about to be a fight. First things first, I'm going to try and talk you out of the fight. Diplomacy rolls all day. And I'm going to try and get you to laugh. I'm going to try and get you to realize I'm a good dude, you're a good dude, we don't have to do this. And if you take that option, awesome, I will buy you a beer, we'll maybe get you some weed, I will figure it out, and we'll have a good time. And then we'll both care about what we were doing. Now, I've been in situations like this, like when I used to go to bars, and when you're in a bar, and you're my size, and people are drinking, 9 times out of 10, if a guy wants to fight me, it's because of a woman. First, that's stupid. Why do we do this? Really? So, because you need to impress a woman, you want to kick my ass, and I can't talk you out of it. Then we upgrade that to intimidation rolls. I'm going to try and scare you. At every junction, I'm going to make myself look as dangerous as possible so that you realize you don't want this. Like, in all honesty, pretty much every fight that did not involve survival or getting paid at the end of it has turned out badly. Think about it. Like, in our history as a species, has anything ever been improved by beating on each other? Not unless there was money involved. Like, and like nowadays, apparently you can get like $250,000 for losing. Like, sign me up, punch me in the face all day, pay me. Like, for an extra $100,000, I'll let you slap my dick around. As long as I get paid at the end. So, getting back to it, so I'm intimidating you, and I will do I will do everything, like warning you. If I win this fight, I'm gonna make you lick my butthole, and I'm 12 hours away from my last shower. Like, All bets are off. You want to fight me. All right, so you're bound and determined. I can't stop you. You go to fight me. And let's say, like, we're in a bar. Every inanimate object I can grab and cause you harm with, I'm going to do it. I'm not playing fair. Bottles and glasses and bar stools and pretty much anything that I can rip up and smack you with to make you not want this fight. And that rule pretty much goes for any place where I can grab something. So, all right, we're not in a bar. We're not even inside. We're outside. And I'm walking away from teasers and you're walking into teasers, so we bump into each other and the fight, the upgrades. Now, what happens now if I can't find a solid inanimate object to hit you with? I'm going to kick up dirt and dust to get in the way. I'm going to reach down and I'm going to grab lumps of sand and I'm going to throw it in your eyes. Again, I'm not playing fair. You brought the fight to me. So, let's say that we're in a situation where I can't produce an object. Or, find something. Like, we're in the Matrix White Room. Just you and me. You want to fight me. I can't stop you. I will go full-on chimp. I mean it. I am going to go for your eyes. I'm going to go for your nose. I'm going to go for all the soft fleshy bits of your head, including your ears and your fucking throat. If I can't get there, I'm going to go for your joints. I'm going to go for your knees. I'm going to take the hardest parts of my body, including my elbows and knees, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them on the softest parts of you and hurt you. And this does mean I will go for your dangly bits. I do not care. You are trying to hurt me. Then, if I have to, when I said full-on chimp, I meant it. I will use my teeth. I will use what passes for my fingernails, and I will use poop. Yes, you heard me. I will poop on you. I will take the grossest parts of me and I will apply them to all the parts you don't want poop in. Not kidding. So, and just an honorable mention, if I can find a rock, it's going right there. If I can throw it, awesome. If I can't throw it, bam, 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 bam. And I will deal with the consequences later, explaining to the bar people that yes, I will pay for the damages, or explaining to a cop, well, I was in pants shitting terror and this guy's trying to hurt me, so I defended myself. And we will just deal with it from there. Now, I've done LARP. Amp-Guard. Love Amp-Guard. It's great. Can be toxic in some spots. But by and large, you get the right people, it's fun. In that kind of combat situation, if the option is available to me, I will choose magic. Magic, 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 magic all day. And this is why. That fine specimen of a warrior, in his full plate, with his large shield, and his sword at his side, and a spear, is going to take all of that, and he's going to try and ruin my day with it. My reaction, bam, finger of death, bam, call lightning, bam, stun, bam, heat weapon, bam, wound. I will do everything in my power to make that the most dangerous 20 feet between me and him. And then I will go on with my day. So, drop out of LARP, go into, let's say, a fantasy setting, magic. So, magic is available. I will choose magic again. But I'm not going to go sorcerer or wizard or bard, or cleric. I'm going to go artificer. Because we're in a very dangerous world. And most of it wants to hurt me. I am not going to take the chance that I am out of magic missiles. So, I'm going to let my construct friend deal with that orc who's charging me. I'm just going to go, hey Timmy, go murder him. And then I'm going to sit down in my comfortable chair, and I'm going to watch Timmy murder that guy. And again, I will go on with my day. And so let's just cover this. Well, what if you're with a party, or you're with friends, or something like that? And I'm sorry. I'm lawful evil. I prioritize me over pretty much anyone else. It's just, oh, we got to defend the innocent. That's the paladin's job. Sorry. Me and Timmy are gonna go over there. Sorry, not sorry. So, let us move on. Take away magic. Oh, magic's not available to me. Again, I'm in, like, my fighting prime. You know, good shape, 250 pounds, no diabetes, sans suck. So then, this is what I would do. Right out the gate, as much armor as I can splatter on myself. Full plate, chain underneath, coif, gambeson, helmet, face cover, visor, as thin as I can get it and still see, as tight as a scorpion's pussy. And I mean it. Because in a historical setting, if you had plate mail, you were basically a tank. Like, somebody had to put a lot of effort into killing you. And I want, you know, somebody who's trying to hurt me to have to go through a lot of effort to kill me. Next step, shield. If it's available to me, I want something close to a Roman scutum. And, you know, big-ass tower shield. And I want it to go just below my nose to the top of my foot. Strap shield. I want to be able to put that right there. It does not, so it doesn't go anywhere. As far as a weapon, I want to keep all of those dudes away from me. Spear. Like, it's readily available, and we've used it for literally thousands of years. So, and not a lot of brain power, pointy end, that way. And this is assuming that I'm in a unit with other people. So, my shield is protecting that guy, and that guy, and that guy, and that guy's shield protecting that guy, down all the way line back to me. And me and all of my buddies are going to stand there and poke, until the barbarians go away. Now, if, for whatever psychotic reason, I don't have a spear available to me, I'm going to go with the gladius. It's a double-edged short sword, and it's got the right amount of pointy ends. And generally, if, like, for whatever psychotic reason, there are no spears available, and, like, shields and all that, like, so Billy and Bobby and their friend Dale are going to get as close to me as possible and try and take their deadliest bits and put them against my fleshy bits. I want to be able to get behind that shield with my buddies, and I want to be able to poke, stab. And I will stab Billy as many times as it takes for him to go away. And then I will deal with Bobby and Dale and Daryl and whoever else. And again, poke, stab. And again, I'm going to make sure that I survive this. Alright. I don't have any buddies. Like, I'm by myself. Again, heavy armor. Every time. But this time, I'm going to get on a horse. and I'm going to armor my horse. I'm going to look at Teddy the horse, and I'm going to put barding on him. And then I'm going to get on him. And I'm going to take a shield again. But not a tower shield. Way, way too hard to deal with that when you're on a horse. Cavalry shield. Probably somewhere along a kite shield. And this is the easy part. I take a lance. Like, that's not even that's a dumb question. Like, again, enemy over there. I want as much space between the two of us. And, like, okay, like, in this situation, I'm 250 pounds. And a horse who can carry me is going to have to be pretty beefy. So I'm guessing about 1,000 pounds or over. And again, this is, like, you know, the money is available, etc. So, me and Teddy will probably be around, with armor, between 1,300 to 1,500 pounds. Now, I'm going to take every ounce of that, and I'm going to ruin your day with it. I won't be able to get a lot of speed, but then again, I don't have to. It's 1,500 pounds of horse and dude, and it's bearing down on you with a lance. Your day is ruined. Just splatter. So, I don't have Teddy. Again, heavy armor. And I'm by myself, so I'm not going to want to scoot him. Like, I need to be able to maneuver a little bit. And, contrary to popular belief, plate mail does not instantly turn you into a turtle. You can maneuver in this stuff. It's heavy, but if you're wearing it like on a daily basis, or even like on a regular basis, like, you're used to this shit. Like, this keeps you alive during war. So I want to have a little bit of extra maneuverability, especially laterally. So, but again, heavy armor. Bam. Round shield, center grip, banded. With whatever strong material I can get at the time, probably with hide on the outside, which would be easily available. Hell, I'd sacrifice Teddy for it, honestly. Because, why a center grip shield? Why not a strap shield? Because I want to be able to maneuver that. I want to be able to take that shield, cover my head, block arrows. If somebody swings low, make that stop happening. Getting that shield between me and whatever is trying to kill me. Then, what kind of weapon? What kind of sword? I wouldn't take a sword. Oh, would you take take a spear? Oh, no. Like, a spear in a group is one thing, but a spear by itself, like, no. Like, I'd still want to try and keep some distance, but still. Like, you stab, and this has happened to me in LARP when I used to use a spear. You stab with it, and some smart motherfucker puts either a weapon or a shield, and they push that away, and you can't get to the murdery part, and then you die. I would go with a flanged mace. It is the idiot's perfect weapon. There is no part of a flanged mace that you can smack someone with that won't hurt them. And most of the time, if you do it right, they die in one shot. Or you've shattered their arm, or broken their ribs, or pulverized some other bone. And then, you just kind of go over there and thud, and game over. So that's my setup, like, in most situations. So let's kind of maneuver this around. Let's say that heavy armor is not available to me. But again, I'm 6 feet tall and 250 pounds. I'm a big dude, especially in the medieval era. Like, I might get mistaken for, like, somebody from, the Norselands. Besides the fact that I'm dark-haired. In which case, I've got big reach. I'm nice and tall, and I'm strong. Two-handed sword. Nice big, like a nice big handle, cross hilt. Hopefully with a nail guard. And I'm going to want it double-edged. Like, in my fantasy games, or, personally, I prefer single-edged stuff. Not the katana. That's a whole other thing. But I like my single edges. But in a combat situation, I don't have a lot of armor. I'm going to want double edge for those quick turnarounds, striking with the off edge. And the reason why I want I want a two-handed sword, a great sword, is I want at least 6 feet of steel between me and you. Again, I want your murdery bits way the fuck over there. And I want my murdery bits right at you. And well, it's just like, oh, you're going to whip it around? Are you going to swing that big sword around? Oh, hell no. I'm going to poke. Stab, 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 stab. And again, if somebody else is, like, lightly armored or they're not as armored, stabs are really bad. They hurt, like, they can do a lot of damage. Like, and you don't even have to go that deep into somebody's body for them to start bleeding out. Like, even if you just, like, go into the stomach, like, let's say about 3 inches, they're going to start bleeding. It's going to be bad. And if you catch somebody in, like, any vital area with a big-ass artery in it, like the neck or the leg or the thigh, and some other spots, they're going to rapidly bleed out. In which case, he's dead and you're safe. Change the situation a little bit. He's got a shield. What am I going to do now? Stabbing does not work against a shield. So, that is when the big power hits come from all of that steel. And if I can get it, like, the guy's going to put the shield in the way. Like, he understands that is going to be an awful thing to get smacked with. So he's going to put that shield in the way as much as he can. I'm going to try and crack that rim. And this is assuming it's not banded, and I'll know instantly if it's banded. But that big power swings, and honestly, I'm not trying to damage his shield. I want it to move. I want to put enough force that his shield goes somewhere that doesn't protect his soft bits. And then I'm going to stab in, or slash in, or chop, or cut where that shield is not defending him. And if I have to destroy the shield, I can. It'll take time that hopefully I'll be able to give myself by just maneuvering my fat ass. And the other thing is, maybe, like, if I don't have the time, I'm still going to hammer on that shield. Hi, Gallifrey. And the reason why is I'm not trying to destroy the shield. If I can't make it move, whatever you're holding that shield with, I want to break. If it's a center grip shield, I'm going to try and break your hand. If it's a strap shield, I'm going to try and break your arm. Whatever you're using to hold that shield up, I want to go away so that I have way more chances to make you die. Now, what if he's got heavy armor? What am I going to do then? Well, again, he's a tank, and I'm unarmored with, pretty good sized piece of steel, but, die. Like, he's a tank. He wins. But if, I'm not going to make it easy. Main thing, what I'm going to do I'm going to try and gas him out. I'm going to try and use the least amount of energy versus making him use the most. And a tired warrior is a dead warrior. So, and like, I've gassed him out. He's tired. That means I can start getting hits in. Again, big piece of steel. Smack him in the head. Like, a concussed warrior is, again, a dead warrior. So I'm going to whack at his head as much as I can. Try and, if I'm lucky, I'll break his neck or crush his skull. But in general, against heavy armor, I'd go with a pick. Because that's what it was for. Like, it's literally designed to go through armor. That is its express purpose. So let's change. Let's do this. I've got a great sword. He's got a great sword. We're both lightly armored. Again, gas out. Make him move more than I do. Like, let him come at me. Let him swing and chop and poke and all that. I will just bounce that sword around. Keep his nastiness away from me. Wait for him to get tired, and then thud. Game over. So, now let's move into, now this is assuming, a good wide open area. So, what am I going to do in, a jungle, or, a forest, someplace where there's not a lot of room to maneuver? I'm not going to go heavy armor. I will get as much armor as I can, probably in the vein of, chainmail or scale. And hopefully some good greaves or something to cover, the parts that make me bleed to death. And as far as a weapon, I would not go with a shield. Because, honestly, if I'm in a thick forest or jungle, nature has provided me all of the shield I need. So, a dude's maneuvering and he's coming at me, and I just kind of walk next to the tree. Haha, what you gonna do now? Nature has defended me. And then we do that goofy shit where we both kind of try to kill each other around a tree. And what I would want is a nice, long, curved weapon. Not a katana. That is not what it's for. And the reason why I want a curved weapon is to be able to maneuver around objects and whatever he's using to defend himself. And, a lot of people are like, oh, a curved weapon can't stab. Oh, hell yeah, it can. Persia and, the Saracens and a lot of people had that shit figured out. Because just because you make something curved doesn't mean it doesn't have a point. Even the katana has a point. And it's just kind of the katana wasn't designed for stabbing, and the scimitar was not designed for stabbing. But there was the option. I would get myself a nice curved weapon somewhere in the neighborhood of a saber. And I'm going to use that curve to create all of these weird strike positions to make that guy die. And then I'll go on with my day. So, okay, let's go back to a nice big open area. The desert. Now, the Crusaders did this several times, and they were idiots. They went into the desert with heavy armor. You know what that heat does from the big, beautiful, glowing thing in the sky? That turns your armor into an oven. And you will roast to death. Like the infidels will not even have to do it. They'll just look at you and just that one's gonna drop. Thud. If it was me, that's 250 pounds of well done steak. So, in that situation, again, sans horse. I would like a camel. That'd be fun. But, so then, I would like light armor, something padded that's vented. on the sides, because like, I'm gonna belt it up and make sure that there are no gaps, but I want as much protection as I can get. And padded armor, especially if it's studded, can do a lot in protecting you against slashes and cuts. And as far as a weapon, I'm not gonna want a shield, because that's cumbersome. That's energy expended and heat. And again, curved sword, saber style. Get myself like a nice grip, a nice maybe a nice basket hilt. And the reason why is, again, those weird angles to stab him with, all that nice cutting power. But that basket hilt, that's brass knuckles. Somebody gets close enough and it's just crunch. If you catch somebody in this part of the cheek, into the jaw, or if you're lucky, into the temple, that kills you. Break this cheekbone, that is like one step away from being dead. Break that jaw, about 2 steps away from being dead. And again, I will use my size to my advantage. If I have to choke a motherfucker out, I'll do it. So, alright, we've covered that in this 31 minutes. Jesus Christ. Yeah, if you've quit long before now, that's fine. That's my fault. So, well, what about stealth? So in stealth, heavy armor is the doom of stealth. Like, no way. So, I'm coming into a city, and I've got all my full armor on. And I brought Teddy, the horse with 1,000-yard stare, and Bobby Joe, the town guard, who believes that mayonnaise is a plant and that the sun sets because it's mad at him, is going to take one look at my heavily armored ass and is going to go, this guy's trouble. And then I'm dead. Like, even in heavy armor, like, me versus like 30 dudes, they're going to tear me apart. And then they'll, give Teddy to the king because he's a big-ass warhorse. So, in that situation, I have to go into a city and, deal with somebody. I'm going to find out what is, like, the low end of respectable dress. And I'm going to do my best to look like just every dude. Everybody who's coming into the city for whatever reason. I'm going to embody the flavor and scent of beige. And I'm going to go into the city, and Bobby Joe, the town guard, he's not even just, oh, that's a tall guy. Oh, well. And again, I'll probably hunker down so that, people don't think that I'm a Norseman looking for, like, new raids or something like that. And, well, what kind of armor are you going to wear? No armor. What kind of weapon are you going to take? You going to take a sword? I'd probably take a little dagger, something that I could say, oh, this is for eating with, good lies. And all I'm going to want is a shortish length of silk rope. Silk is incredibly strong. Gallifrey, go away. Stop being a cat. And a good piece of silk rope. And it's just like, well, why would you just stab somebody with a dagger? Because I don't want my victim to scream. And in order to keep him from screaming, I'm going to have to get him in the lung. And, cat, go away! And 9 times out of 10, like a town guard or a soldier or something like that, who's awake during optimum assassination time, he's going to be wearing a breastplate or something to protect his lungs and his heart. So, I want him not to scream. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak up on him in the dark from behind And I'm going to slip that rope around his throat, and I'm going to pull as hard as I can. So that is a terrifying situation for him. And the first thing he's going to do is he can't breathe, he can't scream, he can't call for help. He's going to try and grab that rope, which means any weapon he's holding is going to drop. And that might create some noise. I'll deal with that later. And in the instant situation, I'm dragging him into the dark away from all of his friends and all of the people that are going to want to make me dead. I'm going to drag him into the dark, and I'm going to hold him there. And I'm going to I'm going to strangle him until he stops moving. And then I'm going to count to 60. Because maybe he's not quite dead, maybe he's just unconscious. I want him dead. Like, I do not need to be in a situation where somebody wakes up with a half-crushed throat and then end up with a spear in the butt. So, no, that's how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to kill as few bystanders as I have to. Because the more dead people you have, like if you go into a situation where you're being stealthy and you Assassin's Creed all over the place and kill everybody, you're going to raise an alarm eventually. It's just going to be like, there's supposed to be 20 dudes here. Why are there 20 dudes? Assassin. And then all hell breaks loose. So, I get to the Lord or the King or whoever. And killing as few people as possible, being as quiet as possible. And even when you're big, you can be quiet. Like, people forget that. Like, Schultze is one of the quietest people I know, and he's way bigger than I am. It's like getting snuck up on by an elephant. It's terrifying. And so, anyway, I'm about to kill this Lord. Again, not going to stab him, not going to do anything. I'm not even going to use the rope. Just lean down with my gigantic fucking paws and just squeeze. And I'm going to try and get my thumbs right there. Because, like, they do this in, like, a lot of shows where someone's being strangled and they, the palm all the way around. That is not for murder. That is for sexy time. Because, like, you're just cutting off oxygen to the brain. And you can eventually kill somebody like that, but it won't be efficient. What you want to do, get your thumb, put it right against his trachea, and crush it. Once it's broken, your job is done. Like, even today, if you break somebody's trachea while strangling them, not a lot can bring them back. Like, the essential thing for you breathing through your throat is destroyed. And then you just kind of leave. And, if you want to cut down on noise, you can just kind of hold them still for a while, but then you gotta, watch a motherfucker, suffocate on their own throats. And, I'm pretty brutal, but that's a little much. I follow Nerdle, not Korn. Or Slanesh. Ugh. But yeah, this is this is a 40-minute video. But yeah, those are the very situations where I would adapt. And again, I don't want to fight. I don't. But if I'm in a situation where I have to, I will cheat every time. I will use every resource I have to preserve me. And yeah, I don't believe in combat where death is on the line, honor goes right out the window.